All right, today we're going to pull back the curtain on something you probably do a dozen times a day without even thinking about it: sending an email. We're going to follow the invisible, lightning-fast journey your message takes every single time you hit that send button.
But seriously, have you ever stopped to wonder? You type out a message, click a button, and boom, seconds later, it's on a screen halfway across the globe. It feels like total magic, right? Well, it's not magic. It's actually one of the most robust and honestly fascinating systems on the entire internet. So what really goes on in those few seconds?
You know, the easiest way to wrap your head around this whole thing is to think of it just like the regular old-school postal service, except, it operates at pretty much the speed of light. You write a letter, you drop it in a mailbox, and this massive, complex network of mail carriers and sorting offices takes over. Email works on the exact same principle.
And just like any good postal service, our digital version has three main parts, three key players that make it all happen. You've got the place where you write the letter, the post offices that handle it, and of course, the mail carriers that move it along. So let's meet them. First up is what we call the user agent. This is your personal window into the email world. The easiest way to think about it is like your desk. It's the app you use, whether it's Outlook or Gmail in your browser, or the Mail app on your phone, to write, edit, and read your messages. For you, the user, this is where the journey both begins and ends.
Next, we have the mail servers. These are our digital post offices. When you hit send, your email doesn't go straight to the recipient. Nope, it goes to your mail server first. And that server has two key parts: a mailbox for all your incoming mail and a message queue, which is kind of like an outgoing mail slot for everything that's waiting to be sent.
And finally, the real workhorse of the system, SMTP. That stands for Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. If the mail server is the post office, SMTP is the mail carrier and the entire logistics network combined. It's the set of rules, the protocol, that actually pushes your message from your post office to its destination post office.
Okay, so now that we've met the cast, let's follow one single email on its epic, though very, very brief, journey. We're going to watch as a user, let's call her Alice, sends a quick message to her friend, Bob. So here's how it all goes down in 6 simple steps. 1. Alice types up her email. 2. She hits send, and her app pushes the message to her mail server. 3. Her server finds Bob's server and opens a direct connection. 4. Her server sends the actual message across that connection. 5. Bob's server gets the message and pops it in his mailbox. And finally, 6. Bob opens his mail app to read it. That's it!
Now, the most interesting part of this whole trip by far is that server-to-server transfer. See, to make sure the message gets delivered perfectly, the two servers have to have a very specific, very formal conversation. It's kind of like a secret digital handshake. And this conversation always follows 3 phases. First, there's the handshake, where they basically introduce themselves. Second is the actual message transfer. And third is the closure, where they say their goodbyes and hang up. Let's watch it play out right now. The moment the connection opens, Bob's server, which for fun we'll call hamburger.edu, speaks first. It sends the code 220 and its name. It's basically saying, "Hi there, this is the hamburger.edu mail server and I'm ready for you." Alice's server, which is the client in this conversation, responds right back. It says hello, and yeah, that's spelled H-E-L-O, it's an old protocol, and identifies itself as crepes.fr. This is its way of saying, hey, crepes.fr mail server calling. Bob's server replies with a 250 code, which pretty much just means, okay, sounds good, and a friendly message. The handshake is complete. Both servers now know exactly who they're talking to. All right, handshake's done, time for business. The message transfer phase starts. Alice's server sends the command mail from, followed by Alice's full email address. Think of this as writing the return address on the envelope. Next up, it specifies who the message is for with the rcpt2 command, followed by Bob's address. This is the main address on the front of the envelope. Once Bob's server confirms it knows that recipient, Alice's server sends the data command. This is basically it shouting, "Get ready, the actual message is coming now." Then the content is sent, and it always ends the exact same way, with a single period on a line all by itself. That little dot is the universal signal for end of message.
The message is sent. Alice's server has nothing else to send right now, so it sends the super simple quit command.
And finally, Bob's server says, got it, acknowledges the end of the conversation with a 221 code, and confirms it's closing the connection. And just like that, the transfer is complete. The email is now officially sitting on Bob's server. So the email's there. It's safe and sound in Bob's digital mailbox on his server. But wait a second. How does he actually read it? How does it get from the server to a screen? Well, to understand that, we have to talk about the huge difference between sending and receiving.
Remember how we said SMTP is a push protocol? Its only job is to push messages to a server. But to actually read your mail, you need a pull protocol. This is where something like IMAP comes in. If SMTP is the mail carrier who drops letters off at the post office, IMAP is you walking into the post office, opening your mailbox, and pulling your letters out to read them. Two totally different jobs.
You know what's so amazing about this whole system, the user agents, the servers, the simple text-based conversation, is that by internet standards, it's ancient. And that's because, well, it is.
So, let's just do a quick recap. This whole thing works because of three parts: your mail app, the mail servers, and the SMTP protocol. SMTP is a push system that delivers mail using these dead simple text commands. And to actually read that mail from the server, you need a separate pull protocol like IMAP. It's a beautiful two-part system.
And the reason it all seems so simple is because it was designed that way a long time ago. The core of the email system we use today was developed all the way back in 1972. No, that is not a typo. Think about that. This technology has been working, and working reliably, for over half a century.
And that just leaves us with a final thought to chew on. This core protocol, the engine of our digital communication, is literally older than the World Wide Web. It was built for a totally different era of computing. So what is it about this simple text-based system that makes it so unbelievably resilient? It's really a masterclass in powerful, simple design. Thanks for watching.